Happy Wednesday, happy Dawn Day, happy Glitter Pit Day. We're here live on YouTube. Welcome to the Glitter Pit. It's 3 o'clock. You're live with me right now. Welcome everybody. All those that are watching the replay, welcome to you too. Try to come on here on 3 o'clock on Wednesday live and you can participate with us live. It's even better. All right, so let me go ahead and start this with the glitter giveaway. Let me see, what do I got over here first? I just grabbed some stuff and brought it over. All right, look, I got these. These are the paper butterfly accents. Aren't they pretty? So let me go ahead and put this in picture-in-picture. Let me see how this is gonna work. That one and that one. Oh no, that's not what I want. Okay, just give me 1 second. I'm gonna figure this out here. Maybe I can't. But you know what? That's all right. I'm just gonna go ahead. Oh, here we are. Let's do it this way. Right? There we go. There we go. Yeah, that's good. All right. So, boy, do we got the announcements for you guys today. I'm also on a new iPad. My daughter had dropped her cell phone in the pool and she was not up for, I guess, a new phone. So this was a couple weeks ago. But I just now got it all like switched over and everything and get familiar with bringing everything over to the new iPad. So anyway, long story short, I gave her my cell phone, which was a 12 Max Pro, to let her use that until they could get another phone for her. So I got a new cell phone, and then the package from Verizon was with an iPad. So it's like a win-win, right? So hopefully the new iPad is really great. How's everybody doing today? Are you guys glad to be here? Glad to take some time out of your day to stamp and relax? All right, let me get my spinner. I'm going to use this one. By the way, this is from Arliss. I found out last week, I forgot. Thank you so much, Arliss, for my spinner. I absolutely love it. All right, let's go ahead and do the spinner. I'm going to leave my iPad on the stand. Let me turn my comments on. Ooh, look at you guys rolling in. All right, hi, Cam, Vicky, Deborah, Angie, Ramona. Yay, everybody's rolling in. All right, so let's go ahead and do an early bird glitter spinner for these paper butterflies. They're really pretty, so let me go ahead and spin. Actually, I'm gonna try to do this really fast because the spinner goes really fast. See how fast it is? All right, we're just not gonna be on time with it. Angie, yay! Do you see her name on the screen, Angie? Woo woo! I think you've won multiple times, which is good, right? You just leave comments. That's how you get to be entered into the live glitter giveaway, right? And then also your comments are saved to the end of the hour, right? So just leaving comments, your name is entered. I can actually see everybody's name really good on my new iPad. I think my iPad was ready to bite the dust. So these are the paper butterflies. All right, so I'm going to give you guys a little disclaimer, a little heads up. I am in a major flare-up with my rheumatoid. You guys know, I think I mentioned to you guys that I'm going to a new rheumatologist since, I think, February. And I get a specialty medicine from MedCart. Hopefully you guys know what that is. But it's a mail delivery system. So they're supposed to be delivering my medication today. But let me tell you, I've been without this medication for almost a week and a half. And my hands are hurting so bad. I almost canceled on you guys. But I figured I just won't stamp with you guys. Because here's the issue I'm having. I'm having a trouble opening up the ink pad. So anyway, between the new doctor and then giving a PA, which is a pre-approval for this medication that they needed at MedCart, it's been taking this long of a time. So, and then also I needed to call my insurance to update to let them know that I don't have any other insurance and stuff. So needless to say, for a week and a half, it's just slowly getting worse, and I feel like my hands are at at a breaking point right now. They're really, really hurting. So, and you can tell they're really swollen. Also, my doctor mentioned in the last doctor visit that he wants me to try a new medication. So let me know if you guys have tried, let me remember here, Orencia. It's an infusion. So I have to go to the doctor's office and sit through this infusion for an hour for an IV. And I think the IV is scaring me more than anything, but they told me to rest assured that the girl that does the IVs is really amazing. So I'm really, really, really thinking about doing this. More so now with my flare-up. And he said it will help a lot with my inflammation because I am very inflamed. Not only because of my medication being off it for a week and a half, but just in general. The medication that I'm on is not really doing that much for my inflammation. So I think I'm open up for some, different opportunities with another medication. So if anybody out here has tried the Orencia, give me some feedback, what you guys have had success with, and if it wasn't very good. Hopefully it's been good for you guys. All right, so let's get started with our updates. Do you guys have any questions before I start rolling out? Because you guys know how it is when I start talking. Sorry. Yes, yeah, I'm just, thank you so much for your well wishes. Thank you, thank you. I don't know the med, but don't worry about the IV. You'll be fine. Seriously, I really do have bad IVs. My mom, my husband, and myself can testify. I got floater veins. So once they poke the vein, it floats, it moves. So, there was a time, remember when I had septic shock 4 years ago, when I almost died? I had so many bruises. They ended up having to do a lifeline IV in my neck. But I even asked the doctor, I said, if I don't get the IV in my hand, is this something where you're going to go in my neck? He said, no. He said, the girl will get it. And I'm like, all right, well, we'll see. So, but yeah, so the what do you call it? The nurse's aide that takes me back and takes all my stats and stuff. She said, the girl that does the IV here in the office is amazing. And the other thing too, is it's like a half an hour drive to the doctor's office. So it's like an hour there, an hour ride there and back. And it just is very inconvenient. But the good thing is I have to do like a loading dose. This is the lowdown on that Orencia. You have to do, go in within 2 weeks to get your loading dose, and then 2 weeks after that. So within the first month, you have to do 2 doses within 2 weeks' time. And then you go on the program once a month. So then you just go into the office once a month and do this infusion. So that is a good thing, where if I could just get through the first 2, then it's just once a month, right? I don't know. All right. No, plus methotrexate. No other plus. Because right now I'm on Gelzans. And he's saying that that's what's maybe causing my inflammation. I don't know. But I've been on that since the septic shock because he took me off the Humira. So the Humira, I was giving my own self the injection every week. So, but now that was, that wasn't good for my septic shock. So that is a stressful day. But we'll get through it, right? I'm just giving you guys a heads up because I'm not going to actually stamp with you guys unless it's using my Memento ink, because I can just actually lift this off and stamp. But there is a card that uses the Misty Moonlight, so I'm just going to show you. I've already stamped it and die cut it out anyway, so thank you, Angie. All right, let's get started with the updates. There's a lot going on right now, not only with Stampin' Up, but we have officially opened up the Glitter Retreat, which we're having a theme this year, which is Home for the Holidays. You guys can see my flyer right here. So the information is posted in the newsletter. Please, please, please check out the newsletter. Everything that I'm going to go through right now is in that newsletter. So if you step out or if you forget, just go back and refer back to that newsletter that went out at 2:15 today. So, but there is a link to register for my retreat. And this is a face-to-face event in my hometown here in Waterford, Michigan. It's actually in Lake Orion. But you're going to be coming to my hometown. and we're staying in a hotel. It's going to be so amazing. Our first one was last year and it was a success. So we're doing it again this year. So this is going to be at a hotel from October 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and then everybody leaves on the 6th. So it's a multi-day event. You're going to come and stamp, stamp, and stamp, right? I'll give you guys more information on this towards the end of the live, all right? So if you need any more information, everything is posted on the link. Just know to prevent, any spammers or, those kind of crazy people. There is a password, and the password is over on my website and also in the newsletter. Well, it'll be on my website. I think it'll be on my website tomorrow. But the password is glitter24, and it's all one word, all lowercase. So you have to enter the password to log in to see the details of the retreat. What's included, what you're going to get, what to expect, and then there's so much more that was left off. So, but just know, it is an amazing time to be with fellow crafters, to connect, hang out, and have some downtime, right? Come and craft with us. You are more than welcome to come. Space is limited. Also, I'm offering an early bird registration through July 1st. Anybody and everybody that registers by July 1st will get an extra surprise special from me at the retreat. I'm not telling anybody what it is. It is definitely an over-the-top experience, prize, whatever. You guys won't want to miss it. So if you do pre-order or pre-register by July 1st, you'll be listed as the early bird registrant. So, and then also registration is actually open until August 1st because the event is in October. So of course I got to order everything. So you do have some time. All right. There are 2 brand new host codes this week. This one is for Card Class 44, which is the class we're going to make live with you today. Remember, you have to place the order of $40 or more starting today through Sunday, June 9th, and the order has to be a minimum of $40, and you have to use this host code. Let me bring this up here so you can snapshot that. Use this host code. If the host code is not attached, I will not know that you want the kit. So the kit will not go out unless you use that host code, okay? And the orders are between today and Sunday, all right? And then also this host code is for a special gift. I just closed the other host code. You guys are all going to love the host code gift this month. I'm not going to tell you what it is. It's a surprise. But you'll be really surprised and very happy. I think I would be. So, but this is the new host code for July. So the surprise or the small gift will go out mid-July next month, all right? So use this host code. And then also do not use any host code of orders of $150 or more. If your order is $150 or more and it's between Wednesday and Sunday, you will automatically get the card kit number 44, all right? But when your order is over $150, you're going to get your Stampin' Rewards from Stampin' Up. So that is much more than what my small gift value is for the host code. So definitely do not use the host code on any orders of $150 or more, okay? Today started the extra 10% off of our Stampin' Bundles. And I want to put a little asterisk by the bundles because it's a certain bundle. It's the bundles with the stamp set and the dies. All right, and then also 10% off the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So all this started today, and it goes through the end of June, right? So June 30th is the last day to take advantage of this special for the extra 10% off. Plus, if you're a demo, you're going to get your discount on top of that. So, wow, that is amazing. So take advantage of those, and remember the bundles, they have to have a stamp and a die. It cannot be a stamp set and a punch. Because I mentioned in the newsletter, let me show you here. Let me grab the catalog. There is a stamp set, and I don't know if you guys noticed it or not, but there is a stamp set that's offered with the dies and a punch. So this is totally up to you, whichever one you decide that you want. Myself, I prefer a punch. But I do like the dies. If there's no punch available, then of course I'm going to get the dies. But you'll see here on page 58 and 59 in the annual catalog, these 2 stamp sets are offered both ways. but the one with the dies are the only ones that are available for the extra 10% off. The punch and the stamp set are not available on this promotion, all right? Neither are sweets and or the punches with the dies, with the bundle, sorry. The punches with the stamp set and the bundles, okay? And the sweets are like what is listed in your catalog. Like this would be considered the sweet collection, which says right here, the sweet collection. You can get everything on this page at that price. That does not include the 10% promotion, all right? So no sweets and no bundles with punches and stamp sets, okay? So hopefully that clarifies that. All right, also I posted my new thank you notes. Aren't these pretty? Oh my gosh. I had to, of course, use this stamp set because I love it, just because it has glitter in it. Right? These are so much prettier in real life because they really do sparkle. But the greeting says, you make me feel like glitter in the sun. I love it. And then, of course, the new glimmer paper and all the in colors, which is gorgeous. So these are my thank you notes using the new 2024 through 26 in colors. And then also, this is the stamp set I'm using that from. So it says, you make me feel like glitter in the sun. All sparkly. And this is called Happiest Day. This is in the annual catalog. So these are my thank you notes. And remember, for every $50 you order, you'll get a token, all right? So just remember that when you're also placing orders for the kit, if your order's like $46 and you didn't reach that $50 mark, you're not going to get a token. You have to reach that $50 mark in the subtotal before shipping and tax to collect tokens. And then once you collect 10 tokens, you'll get a free stamp set, bundle, or die from yours truly, right? So that is how you collect the tokens for every $50 increment. So if you place a $50, you get one. If you place $100, you get two. $150, you get three, and so on and so on. And then look at my card sketch. This was not planned because I'm actually on card sketch number 331, I think, with my team. So we're a little behind from the ones we're making with my team. So look, I'm using the same stamp set for this week's card sketch that was posted on Monday. And this is the card sketch. Remember, we started doing the printables for you guys and my team. And this is the printable for this week. This is in the newsletter and only will be in the newsletter. This is not on my website. You can always go to my website and see the latest card sketch every single Monday. There's a new card sketch. But the printable will be on the newsletter every Wednesday when you get that in your email box. So you can print them. Like I've got all of them attached. I'm going to sooner or later put this in a binder. So I've got them all printed with the paper clips. So this is really nice when you just want to grab a really quick idea. These card sketches are amazing. And apparently Stampin' Up's catching on to the card sketches because they're in the annual catalog this year, right? So, but this one is using the same stamp set that we used for my thank you notes. That's just a coincidence, seriously. All right, so that was in the newsletter. Also, 2 brand new card kits launched today. Ooh, and I have one of them in person. I got this in Mexico for the incentive trip, I believe. Wasn't that from Mexico? Yeah, I think it was from Mexico. And I'm planning on going live sometime this week after our live here. I think I'm going to go live on Friday, maybe towards the evening, because my husband is working on our house that we has as a rental. The renter has left the house. So he's been going over there and he said, why don't you just do a live like when I'm not here? And I'm like, okay, because usually in the evenings he's here, right? So this is the card kit that I have. Let me show you it. It is so beautiful. It's seriously so gorgeous. Oh, wait, is this it? Now that I brought it over, I'm wondering. I'm going to open it. Yes, it is. Look at this month's card kit. This one is making cards. And you get a whole spool of ribbon and your Blackberry Bliss Stampin' Spot. And a cute little stamp set, which is awesome. Look at this. Let me see if that's what that says. Hold on. Yes, this does have it. So when you get the stamp set or this kit, you can use this stamp. It says kindly deliver to on the envelope. Can you guys see this here? Maybe not because of the plastic, but right here. And then you put the person's address on the envelope. Isn't that sweet? But that's a stamp that's in this stamp set. So, you know, you guys can use this stamp for all your card giving. You know, it just kindly deliver to Susie Stamper, to Dawn Griffith, whatever. And the cards are like metallic, I guess, gold metallic or some kind of a foil. And they're so beautiful, of course, with the purple, because you guys know I love purple. But this kit is gorgeous. So pretty. And then also, it's an all-inclusive kit. So for those that are brand new to getting the kits, it's kind of like Paper Pumpkin, but better, because every kit, you get a Stampin' Block, you get the Stampin' Spot, you get a stamp set, and then you get all your consumables and everything, plus the ribbon this month. So if you guys want to join me, I'm hoping to go live on Friday evening sometime. I will let you guys know, depending on if my hands are better. And like I'm going back to my delivery. So my delivery guy for this medication is coming between 3 and 9, right? It's kind of like your cable guy. So as soon as I hear my doorbell, I'm going to have to run upstairs and get it because I have to sign for the prescription. So I told you that whole story because of that. So hopefully my hands will start to feel better and I can go live with you guys on Friday. If I don't end up going live on Friday with the card kit, then I'll plan it for next week because for sure I'll be better by then. All right. So these two kits, which I just showed you this one, Expressions of Kindness. And this item number is 163905. And then the second kit, remember Stampin' Up! Is releasing 2 kits every month. This one is a cute little journal for traveling or whatever you want to make it into. They've got stickers, little die cuts, and it's an actual book to like for a journal or a diary. And it's, excuse me, this item number is 163904. So these are the 2 kits that are just launched today. Okay, so make sure you check those out. The links are also in the newsletter. Here is the printable for this week's card class. I mentioned last week I was going to focus on Father's Day because Father's Day is going to be here in a minute. And I wanted you guys to have enough time to get the kit and make your cards. So cute using the Adventurous Sky Bundle. And they're all 3 fun folds. You guys might remember this one that I shared with you guys. It's not the exact card that I shared with you guys, but it's like a sampling of it. And since it's a card kit and we brought those back, I'm going to have that in the card kit. But they're all 3 fun folds. You can print that printable down below in the description box on YouTube. You can also find that in the newsletter. And then I'll also have it on my website tomorrow morning about 7 o'clock, all right? But we're going to make the cards here in a minute. Still some more to share with you guys. The brand new Stampin' Glass Mat Studio is coming back and will be available to all customers on July 3rd. Remember, this is the glass mat that was available during Celebration this past January and February. It was in high demand, let me tell you. So Stampin' Up! Has finally got the A-OK and got it all approved and got it making it or whatever they got to do. I don't know. But it was just launched on Tuesday that they are bringing it back. So be available to purchase this on July 3rd. And it will be an online exclusive item, all right? So make sure you make a note of that. That is coming back. Also, the brand new Stampin' tutorials are available right now if you want to purchase them in my online store. Not my inline store, my online shop. And also, you'll get these free with an online order. You'll get this in your email box, okay? And this month is a card sketch by yours truly. All right, and then online exclusives. We got to pre-order these today, and I did place my pre-order. I think I got both of these. They're very cute. This is the Potions and Spell bundles, and this is Changing Leaves bundle, and then 2 of it. But there's a lot more than these 3 flyers, 4 flyers. There's a lot of online exclusives coming. So those will be available to everyone on July 3rd, just like the glass mat. All right. So there's a variety of Christmas, Halloween, fall, pumpkins, leaves. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. Designer paper, ribbon, embellishments. Oh my. Right? Okay, wow, that was a lot, right? Okay, so let me show you the cards we're making today. This is card number 1. This is actually a Z-fold card. That's really cute the way it sets up. Very cute. Now, keep in mind, you guys can make these masculine birthday cards too. You don't have to use the Father's Day stamp set or the Father's Day greetings. Let me show you the stamp. And this also comes in a die. Let me show you that. The die is super cute. But the Adventurous Sky, this is the bundle, and it is also on the 10% list. So you get an extra 10% off the 10% bundle when you buy them together. So you're getting 20% off of your bundle, right? So on this stamp set, there's a lot of greetings like, you always lift me up, to my friend, happiest Father's Day, flying by to say hi, happy birthday, you're the best, plain and simple, right? So very cute. It does not have to be for Father's Day. For those of us that have lost our fathers, they're not around anymore. It's sad, I know. Sad for mothers and fathers that have passed, and we're celebrating Father's Day soon. So I wanted to focus on masculine cards for your celebration or for birthdays, Father's Day, whatever, okay? And then card number, what is this one? Card number, hold on, let me get my printable here. Hold on. One moment, please. Is this it? Yes. Okay, so that's card number 1. Card number 2 is the slider card. You guys might remember we used this one, I guess it's been like a month ago or so. It was using the Attention Shoppers, and I showed you some other samples. We're going to make this one today. I'm going to use different ribbon for the class, but I just put this in because it was on my desk. So this is a Father's Day card. I'm making 2 of my 3 cards Father's Day and then 1 birthday. But like I said, you can change them up to however you want to use them, all right? Use different greetings in them. But it's so, so cute. Love slider cards. So that's card number 2. And then card number 3 is a pop-up, an inside pop-up card. So here's the front, and then it pops up like that. So it's an interactive card. Love it. I love all 3 cards. And I really do love this bundle a lot. It was on my number, I think, my top 5 stamp set / bundles that I ordered right on the pre-order. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead. Are you guys ready to get started? Love the glass mat. Yes, the glass mat does come with everything that we offered with Celebration. The cleaning, what do you call that? It's like a chamois, but it's not a chamois. And then it comes with the plate that holds your Stampin' Spots and, you know, your tools and stuff, and the glass mat. My glass mat is over in my office. And what I love most about that is, like, when I'm crafting and I make a mess, like especially with my Stampin' Seal adhesive, and I go off of the cardstock when I'm usually stamping sometimes, just because I only have these 2 fingers to hold it in place. And sometimes it goes off. I just keep moving on, but then at the end of the day, I just take that chamois or that towel, whatever that came with it, and get it wet, and it seriously rubs off the glass like butter. It really is amazing. It's an amazing mat. You guys will love it. But like I tell everybody, it's not a must-have when you're crafting. And I find that it's like Jessie is really into making sourdough stuff right now. And she calls me one day and she's like, Mom, she said, I don't know how these people are saying you have to have this special whisk or this special bowl to make sourdough. She said, I just use a spoon, and I just use my old bowls that I make, you know, for, you know, making a pot roast or whatever. I just use all this stuff. She said, but she said, I get it. It's a selling thing that they want you to buy these certain tools and you're going to make better sourdough, but that's not the case. And that's what I'm trying to say with the glass mat. If you've been a crafter for a while and you really like a thing that protects your surface and it's also used for techniques and stuff, it's definitely going to help your experience and your joy of stamping, right? But it's not a must-have. Like you guys know, I use this grid paper every week, and this is totally fine. So I'm not pressuring you guys to get the glass mat. It's just whatever. And I know there was some people that were reaching out to do it. They didn't want to sign up to get it, but they really did want it. So it's coming back. So just know that if you want it, it will be available on July 3rd. All right? All right, so let's get started with card number 1. Has everybody been getting their past card kits? The past card kits are available on my online shop right now. The cost is the same as far as the year's past card kits. So if you guys are interested in getting the Country Flowers and the Charming Duck Pond, those are available. I also have this kit available, but I don't think it's active right now because I don't quite know how many I'm going to have. Because Richard and I make up so many, depending on how many people get the kits. And then anything extra is what I put into the store. Okay, so they will be there in time. But I'd really try to get the kits to my customers first, and then we put the extras in the store. Okay, so just stay tuned for all that if you are interested in any of my past kits. Plus, my past kits are over there as well. The ones that we've done, since I've come back before this. All right, so let me tell you all the measurements here. Let me put this up here on my board. All right, so we have Cajun Craze cardstock. This is cut at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. It's another quarter sheet of cardstock. You're going to get scraps of and these will be, I think these are going to be trimmed on the corner. So you know that these are going to be scraps, right? So you have your Misty Moonlight, your Cajun Craze, and your Basic White. These will be trimmed in the corner to let you know that these are for stamping and die cutting. And then you also get a piece of Basic White, which is cut at 4 1/4 by 6. We're going to score that piece. And then I already die cut out my die pieces, thank goodness, because I don't think my hands could do it right now. So these are what these pieces will be cutting out, which you can see the 2 clouds. You'll cut out the base of your airplane, which is this. And then your Misty Moonlight will be the layer on top of the airplane base, which is this piece, the detailed piece. You have enough room to cut out your base of your airplane and your overlap area, right? So then you have your Misty Moonlight, which is cut at 3 1/4 by 4. And then this piece of designer paper. Don't you love that? I try to bring in the Cajun Craze and all those colors. I just love it. This is from the Take It to the Sky designer paper pack. This is cut at 3 by 3 3/4, and this is going to layer right onto your Misty Moonlight on the front. And then 2 pieces. This is from the same pack of paper, Take It to the Sky. These both are cut at 3/4 by 4. Okay, so let me go. Oh, and then you're also going to get your banner. This will be die cut for you from the Stylish Shapes for your greeting. So hopefully I can stamp that, right? All right, so we're going to score let me make sure, 4 1/4 by 6. Let me double check. Yep. So we're going to score this at 1 1/2. Scoring, not cutting. 1 1/2 and 3. So we're going to score it in half. And then, we're going to score it at 1 1/2 and then 3. The 3 inches in the half of the 6. That's going to make your Z-fold part of your card. Let me get my bone folder. All right, let's fold our score lines. This one is going to be folded in half, and then this is going to flip back on itself like that. And burnish your edges. Okay, and then let's take our quarter sheet of Cajun Craze. It's funny when my doctor said, man, you are really, really inflamed. And it kind of had me worried. And I'm like, I don't see, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I've been living with the pain and the inflammation for so long. I really don't notice it. I'm looking for my adhesive. Maybe I don't have any. Hold on. Let me get my liquid glue. So, he said, in time, if you don't get that under control, you might lose the use of your hands. And I was like, oh, goodness, the fear of God set into me. Because I'm like, I use my hands to craft. I gotta keep going, So we're going to put our 2 pieces of the 3/4 by 4 onto the edges of our Cajun Craze. I just opened up a new glue, so it kind of oozed out too much. So put one over here. Liquid glue is very forgiving. So that's why I really started to consider like changing medications, because yeah, I really don't know if I've ever really experienced remission, so to speak, but maybe this new, it's not actually new. I did some Google research, right? I did my own doctoring research, because he did want me to go on this one medication. I forget the name of that one, but the number one thing on that was septic shock and death. And I'm like, hey, listen, I'm not going to be going through that septic shock again, and I wouldn't put my husband through that again, ever again. So I said, we're definitely not doing that drug. So then he said, well, the Orencia is a lot less side effects. I mean, you have like a headache, nauseated, and maybe a little injection area, little, like, you know, sometimes a little hurt or whatever, but, yeah, and it's supposed to prevent inflammation. It's called T-cell blockage is what this medication, am I doing this right? Am I doing this right? Did I do this right? Hold on, I gotta see my other card. I don't feel like, well, yeah, maybe it is right. I don't feel like it's long enough. Maybe it was supposed to be 6.5. I'm just gonna put this on here. Yeah, I feel like the gap is too long. Well, maybe not. I don't know. I could have went further. I think this is supposed to be 6. What is that space there? Yeah, 6.5. Scored at 3.25. I will make adjustments on that. Sorry, guys. We're just going to go ahead and make it the way it is, right? Yeah, it's going to be too far over here. So hold on. We got to move this over. Maybe I should go get another piece of cardstock. Good thing I use liquid glue. Let me go get another piece of cardstock so I can cut that right and make sure I make an adjustment on my printable. Hold on. We're improvising. Okay, I already cut one out. I think it's supposed to be 4.25 by 6.5. Okay, so the kit will be correct. We haven't even started cutting yet, so no worries. I'll change the PDF for tomorrow. Okay, so 4.25. Let me get that one out of the way. By 6.5. All right, we're going to still score it at 1.5. Is it 1.5? Basic white, yes, 1.5 and 3.25. I think that's going to be better. Let's hope, right? There's no mistakes in stamping, right? All right, so we folded that just like that, like the last time. Let me see here. Is that going to be better? It's still the same. Maybe it's better. No, I don't know. Let me measure this one here. Hold on. I'm going to measure this one here. Okay, so it is 6.5. Scored at 1.5 and 3. All right, hold on. I got to do it again. Okay. This is already cut at, sorry guys, this is live. 6.5. 6.5. 6.5 by 4, right? 6.5 by 4.25. We're going to score this at 1.5. Well, I guess I had it half right? 1.5 score and 3. 1.5 and 3 score it. And the cardstock is cut at, making a note here, I gotta update this for you guys. The basic weight is cut at 4 1/4 by 6 1/2 and scored at 1 1/2 and 3. Okay, so make a note if you printed that off. All right, now let's see. Yes, that's it. All right, thank you for being so patient. We have to get it right. There's no point of doing it if it's not right. You know what I mean? All right, so I'm going to put this right in the middle. Yes, it's so much better. So I did have the score marks right, just not the cardstock measurement. So 4 1/4 by 6 1/2, scored at 1 1/2 and 3. Okay, so put that right in the middle of those two Cajun Craze pieces of paper. And then we're going to layer these pieces together. Okay, now this should be layered right on that one side. Oh, look, so much better. Sorry, guys. So this is going to be going on to that flap so the card can move. Can you see that? Like this. So you're only going to put glue onto this Misty Moonlight on the left-hand side. Right? Yeah. Right down the left-hand side. That's it. And then close up your card. And then this should be matted onto that fold. So you're going to have like a border around your whole card when it's closed. Like that. And then it's going to open up. Isn't that cute? Love it. I love it when it's done right. Right? All right, let's do our building of our pieces. I'm only going to put, I use the liquid glue for all my pieces for the plane. Very easy. I'm just going to put liquid glue here and then around the wheels. And then along the bottom. And then this little tail end here a little bit. We need a little bit. Okay, so just like that. And then this is going to be built up onto that Cajun Craze layer. I'm going to just line up the wheels. At least that's what I do. I line up the wheels with the front end of the plane. Everything lines up perfect, just like that. Okay, so there's your plane. And then you also get a little piece of smoky slate, which I don't know where that piece is at. Hold on. But I thought I brought it over with my kit. There is a little piece of 2x2. Oh, right here. 2x2 of the smoky slate. You're going to cut out 2 of your propellers. And the propellers look like this. So you're going to actually cut out 2 at the same time, which is awesome. So this is your propeller, and you can see both of the dies are on there. So you're going to cut out 2 at the same time. So you'll need 3, so cut out twice, and then you'll have an extra one. Okay? So I do have my propeller here somewhere. I did. All right, maybe not. I did, but now I don't see it. But you will cut them out, all right? So you'll have extra. All right, so then we're going to put our plane, and you're going to cut out your clouds, which is where are my clouds? Where's my cloud? I'm so sorry, guys. I have so much on my desk. Let me throw this away. All right, where are my clouds? Those are the pieces that I cut out already, right? Yeah. Does anybody see the clouds somewhere that I'm not looking? I have the one little cloud, but I don't have the big cloud. All right. I don't know. Maybe it got stuck to the stamp. Nope. All right, well, just know that you're going to get a cloud. You're going to die cut your cloud out of your white cardstock. And then I'm going to get dimensionals. The clouds make it so much better. I'll show you the finished one. So die cut your clouds and then put the big one up at the top. And then your airplane with the propeller. Just going to put that right here. And then the little cloud is going to go... Oh, no, there's no little cloud. Oh, yeah, there is a little cloud. Little cloud's going to go on last after we stamp our greeting. You're the best, plain and simple, on our banner. You're the best. Make sure this is stamping right. Yep. Okay, so you're the best. Right onto the banner. Again, we're going to use dimensionals. This is going to go, maybe it's just the one big cloud. Yeah, because this takes up quite a bit of space down here at the bottom. So just one big banner and one big cloud. Maybe I know I die cut out the cloud. I'm not thinking I dreamt it for sure. So I don't know. I'm just going to give one more pass through here. Everything. Maybe it stuck to my trimmer. Nope. I don't know. All right, so let's just pretend there's a big cloud here. Let me show you the original. See, your big cloud is going to go up top, and then your airplane is going up. And then you're the best, plain and simple. And then Happy Father's Day is going to go on the inside. Stamp that. Making sure to stamp that right in the center so it gets covered up when it's closed. Okay, so there's the card without the cloud and the propeller. But you guys get it, right? That will be included in your kit to die cut all those out, all right? Woo! Thank goodness card number 1 is done. It is super cute. All right, so there's number 1. All right, let me get my stuff situated here. Card number 2 is the slider. Hold on, I gotta pick up my dimensionals. One moment, please. They're way underneath the table. Hold on. Oh, I found my propeller. But maybe it's from another kit. Hold on. Let me get my take your pick tool. Okay. I don't see anything else down there. All right. So, card number 2. This is what happens when you're live. When I used to edit my videos, I used to cut all that out. You wouldn't see it. But how lucky are you to see it? Right? All right. So now card number 2 is the slider card. Yes, I got the propeller. I got the cloud. Everything's in there. Right? Hi, honey. All right, let me give you the measurements of this card. We're using the the boho blue cardstock, which is cut at 5.5 by 8.5, and we're going to score this. And then you're going to use a piece of basic white and the designer paper. These will both be cut for you. These are both cut at, well, this one's cut at 3 3/4 by 5, and this one's cut at 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. That's going to be for the front, and then this is going to be for the slider part. And then you're also going to have your scraps, which is the balmy blue, or no, sorry, I keep saying balmy blue, but it's boho blue, Cajun craze, and basic white. You'll also get your circle, which is the 1 1/4 inch circle punch. This punch is retired, but you can probably find a die, but yours will be punched out for you with the kit. And then you're also going to get your deckled circle with the smoky slate for the front, okay? So I went ahead and die cut all my pieces, which you can see right here. I'm not going to move them now. I'm going to put them right on the circle so we don't dare lose it. Right? Right. I got my circle there. I'm going to gonna stamp that. All right, so we got our die cut pieces. All right, let's get our trimmer. We are gonna score this piece of 5.5 by 8.5 boho blue. We're gonna score this at 4 on the 8.5 inch side. We're gonna score it at 4, not at 4 1/4, just at 4 and 8. 4 and 8. Score. Okay? We're gonna get the trimmer back out as soon as I put this designer paper back on here. All right, so we're gonna fold our score lines. Okay, so now this is gonna be the front of my card, which is the back side is gonna be your 1/2 inch score line right here. So we're gonna flip this over. We're gonna put our designer paper on this side. Grab it. Grab my liquid glue. Okay, so this is gonna go on the front of the back where the 1/2 inch score line is, right up here. Because we're gonna cut a slit, and you might as well cut everything all at one time, right? Oh, that's upside down. Yes, pay attention to the designer paper so it's not upside down. I gotta listen to myself, right? All right, so the designer paper's on the card. Now we're gonna get our paper trimmer out again. Now we're gonna flip this over with this 1/2 inch score line over here, right? So we're gonna take this edge over here and we're gonna line this up at, I think it's at 1.5. And then we're gonna cut from one inch down to, this is 5 1/4, so we're gonna cut it down to 4 1/4. So cut it from 1 inch. Remember, you're cutting through the cardstock and the designer paper. So with this edge over here at 1.5, line it up at 1 and then cut it down to 1 1/4. It should be like 1 inch from the top and 1 inch from the bottom, approximately, okay? And then you can see you cut your slit right here, okay? And then we're gonna grab some tear and tape. Oh, I forgot my little 1/2 inch or my 3/4 inch. That will be balmy or boho blue. I'm gonna cut that piece right now with you guys because I forgot to add it in my kit. This is cut at 3/4. Wait a minute here. 3/4 by 3 1/4. This is going to be the little maneuver, the little mechanism for your slider part. Yours will be in boho blue to match the card, but I do not have it over here. So you'll have another piece that's boho blue, cut at 3/4 by 1 1/4. Okay, and we're going to put this into the slider part of the card in the front, right? And we're going to grab a dimensional, a full-size dimensional. We're going to put this right on the edge of that little arm there. See that? And then just push this all the way in so the dimensional is just sticking out like that. Okay? Make sure the arm is all the way down on your slit, down at the bottom of the card. Okay? And then you're going to go ahead and flip that open. We're going to take our tear and tape again. I'm going to put tear and tape on the inside of this arm right here. Peel that off. Oh, before I close this card up, I want to punch that circle out at the top here. So you can use any circle punch you have. Just know you're going to punch a little finger hole right up here at the top. So when you give this card to somebody, they know to pull that. And it works as like the sliding part of the card. So we're going to punch out half of this is a 1 1/4 inch. So what I'm doing is I'm lining that punch up between those two score lines, the 4 and the 8. Just kind of eyeballing it. I'm just going to punch a half of a circle out. Just like that. Okay? So do that before you close the card. And then we're going to go back to this part here. We're going to make sure that arm is all the way down. Sitting down on the inside of the card. And then you're going to take your basic white piece, the 3 3/4 by 5. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this edge up at the top of my card. And I'm going to put it between the 2 score lines. So the 4 and the 8. So there's a couple of things I'm doing here. I'm lining this up at the edge of the top. And then making sure I'm between the score lines. Like that. And then press that down on that arm where that tear and tape is at.
Wow, you look cute. See?
Thank you, honey.
Wow.
What did you do to your hand?
Nothing, taped it up.
Yeah, come and show him what you did to your hand. You just taped it. There's a reason. He cut it. Look at it. No, you got to come over here. No, you got to walk around here. Come over here. Look at this thumb. You tell me if it's just that he covered it up. He's cut it. Look.
I didn't cut it.
Yeah, you did. He pulled some electrical tape. And what is that? A bandage?
No, McDonald's napkin.
Oh, right. Oh, my gosh.
What?
What am I going to do it to you? So you can see when you pull this out now, you see how that arm is moving?
What am I going to do with you? All right, what are you doing?
I'm doing my class.
Is this your card kit for this week?
Yes.
It is?
Yes.
This one's amazing. I really like this card
I know.
kit.
Well, it's all fun folds. That's what you like.
Yes.
See, that's what I'm saying. Your guys that you send these cards to, they're going to like it. You're going to make them smile with their card. All right, so on this half inch, are you going now?
Yeah.
Okay. Love you.
Love you.
See you later.
Hasta la vista, sister.
Hasta la vista, misto. All right, so take your tear and tape backing off, and then you're just going to fold that over to close up the card. Ta-da! No, Griffey does do that. That's what Richard said. Griffey says that. Griffey's really sick right now. He's got laryngitis. You should hear him say when he says, "Hi, Grammy." He's like, "Hi, Grammy." He's got a frog in his throat. Oh my gosh, a poor little baby. He's got a cold. All right, so that's your slider. Isn't that awesome? Super easy. And then once you get it together, just take your bone folder and reinforce those score lines again. Okay? Ta-da! We're sending love vibes to Griffey to get better. Jessie called me earlier and she's like, "Griffey, say hi to Grammy." And it seriously did not even sound like him. He's got such bad laryngitis. I'm like, what in the world? All right, now I got all my little pieces. Yay, I didn't lose anything. Knock on wood. All right, we're going to use the boho blue for the front of my airplane now. And the Cajun craze on the bottom. Right? Just putting glue on the bottom, the wheels, the front of the airplane, and then we're just going to build that up again like we did the last one. So cute. Okay, we're going to put dimensionals on that. My fingers are all gluey. Yeah, that's a redneck fix for sure. That's called like on the job and you're bleeding out. Seriously. Oh, gosh. It's terrible. All right, and then we're going to put, okay, we're going to stamp again. Thank goodness we're using the Memento ink. So now we're going to do the omitting. You remember this from the last video too, I think, that we did with this card. We're going to do the omitting or the masking, whatever you want to call it. We're going to take the black Stampin' Right marker and we're going to stamp, well, we're going to color in the "You're the Best," but we're not going to color in plain and simple until later. So we're going to make sure the stamp is really clean. Let me get some baby wipes or something here. Just give me 1 second. Do not use your Stampin' Blends for this technique either, because Stampin' Blends are alcohol-based. The Stampin' Right marker is water-based, and it is double-ended. Remember, they recalibrated the markers this year. Or last year. They're awesome. So you got your bullet tip and then your brush tip. I'm using the brush tip. But either one you want to use. Make sure you clean your stamp really, really good because we're going to omit that bottom part of our greeting. Remember? Wipe it off. All right. So we're going to take our marker and we're going to stamp, or we're going to color "You're the Best" right over top of that greeting with the marker. You're the best. Right? Yeah, that looks good. Oh, I got a little black here. All right, so you're the best. And then I'm going to take that cloud that you're going to die cut out and you're going to stamp "You're the Best" on this big cloud. I'm going to put it on the gray so I can see where I'm stamping. All right, so you just got to kind of, this is not a photopolymer stamp set, so it's going to be, you're just going to kind of eyeball it. So "You're the best." Yes! You did it! Ta-da! And then what I did also on that piece of scrap, which is right over here, you got enough to cut out your 2 clouds and then also stamp your plain and simple. So let me show you how to do that. So you're going to do the exact same thing that we did for "You're the Best," but we're going to clean that off. Make sure you clean that off. You don't want any residue transferring over to what you're going to stamp, right? And dry it off. All right, now we're going to take that marker again. Now we're going to do the bottom section, plain and simple. Just take that marker and color over that. I'm going to huff on it. We always used to call it the Darth Vader. We used to say, "Luke, I am your father." For those of you that are in my club, you guys know what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's say this is your scrap, right? This piece like this that you're going to get, and you're going to cut out your stuff. Then you're going to have a little piece of basic white down here. Then you're going to do this with the omitting part with the black Stampin' Right marker. And you're just going to stamp that plain and simple like that. Okay? That's the only word that we want on that. And then you're going to take your die. I'm going to close this for the minute. And then you're going to take your die right here. This is in that die collection. Your little, this is the banner that goes behind the airplane that's so stinking cute. But I use the pennant end right here and put that right up next to that plain and simple. So you're going to die cut it like this. You don't really need that much. Okay, so die cut it out like that. Run it through your die cut machine. Okay, and then you're going to get it to look like this. Like that. Okay, and then you can actually cut that down if you want because it is a little bit big for the front of the card. So we're going to pop this up again on dimensionals. And then we're going to put this onto our circle because now our circle is the only thing that's actually going to get attached to this dimensional right over here. So when there's pulling, that is when the airplane is flying. Woo, woo. Right? So we're going to put, making sure our dimensionals are not going to be on the, or off of the smoky slate. So put your dimensionals kind of low. Like that. Let me move mine down. Okay, right there's good. Okay, so we're going to put our cloud kind of like off to the side. Right like that. Oh, wait, let me put this over here so you can see it better, right? And then take your airplane. We're going to put this like it's going up to the sky too. And then we do have a little cloud, dimensional. Put the dimensional on that. And then I'm going to put this like right down by the wheels. And then the plain and simple, this little banner here, this part that's got the white left over, that's going to slide up underneath that cloud. That's why I said you're going to have to cut that off a little bit. Not all the way to the simple, because you do want it to tuck behind that cloud a little bit. So right about there is good. I'll put liquid glue here. And then just tuck that right behind that cloud. Just like that. Okay. So cute. I think think this needs to be turned a little bit more, just because it's like at an angle with the plane, maybe. Like they're zooming through the clouds, right? All right, now we're going to put this onto the one little dimensional here. Remember, our arm is all the way down on the cut line, and then you're just going to put your plane circle right here, right on that dimensional. So then you can see here, it's going to pull, hold on, pull, yay, look, it's zooming, vroom, vroom, right? And then also to stamp and put your ribbon, let me show you here what I did. I'm going to trace this circle out just so that I know where to put the ribbon. And then also I know that I want to stamp below that area because I don't want anything to show in that. Ooh, it's thundering out. Yikes. So I'm going to stamp Happy Father's Day again. So I'm going to pull my card out. I got to put the propeller on too. So pull my card out, right? I'm going to stamp Happy Father's Day right up in the center. So when they pull it, maybe I should stamp Happy Birthday because I've already made 2 Father's Day cards. Happy Birthday. I'll stamp that one. Happy Birthday. That looks good. Happy Birthday. Yeah. Isn't that birthday font cute? That's very cute. All right, so no Father's Day for that one. All right, and then we're going to put the propeller on. So I'm just going to take my liquid glue. I'm going to put a little dab of glue on the front of my airplane. See that? And then I'm going to take that propeller that's in the smoky slate and then just put that onto the card. That really makes it. Don't you think? So cute. All right, now we're going to take the ribbon. I'm going to give you guys this new ribbon. You guys are going to love it. This is that iridescent ribbon. I mentioned it, I think, last week or a week before. It's so pretty, but it's not overly too much for a guy. But if you guys have other ribbon that you want to use, feel free to use it. I'm going to give you about 3 inches of this ribbon. It's plenty. And we're just going to put this, I'm just going to crisscross it. And we're going to put this right in the center of that pencil line right there. I'm going to take a stapler. And I'm going to staple that. Well, you know what? That circle is not for this card. It's the next card. I'm going to staple an X. Just to really reinforce that ribbon. Okay? And then you can trim it down. 3 inches is way too much, actually, because you want it to fit into the card. So then just pull it down. Then when the receiver receives it, they know to pull that ribbon, right? And then, of course, don't forget to erase your pencil line, right? Erase the pencil line. That's just a guide for us to know where to stamp and then add the ribbon. So cute. Winkastella, which is like man glitter. I feel like you could put Winkastella on this blue part with the boho blue. Oh, wait, that moved. Still too wet here. Hold on. There we go. So you could put some Winkastella on the plane, the clouds. Yeah, you can really gussy it up, right? So, and then if you want to sign in the card, you definitely can, but I would definitely sign the back side. Either here or up here, right? Very cute. All right, so there's card number 2. Let me show you the original one here. Here's the first one. This is using the silver sheer white with the silver trim on it. That's what was on my desk, so I just snipped it. But you'll get the new ribbon. It's very cute too, okay? So there's your slider card. Very cute. Okay, 3rd card coming up. 3rd card's a charm, right? Yeah, this is for the 3rd card, your 1 1/4 inch circle punch. You took that in there. All right. 3rd fun fold. Here we go. Are you ready? Ready, Freddie? give you all the measurements here. I don't think I'm going to be stamping this one because I won't be able to open the ink pad because of my hands. All right, so Misty Moonlight is this card. Make sure I got the propeller out. Please let me have a propeller in here. Yes, I do. All right, so I got my 1/4 inch circle, my propeller here. All right. Your Misty Moonlight cardstock is cut at 5.5 by 8.5. We're going to score. We're going to do all the scoring together with that one. So, and then your front of your designer paper, also from the Take It to the Sky. This is cut at 4 by 5.25. And then also the inside piece, the basic white, is cut at 4.25 by 5. And then this piece is your scrap. Remember, the angle cut will be on the scrap. This is to stamp your clouds and your airplane. Okay, so we're going to use, let me show you. You're going to stamp the large cloud and the medium-sized cloud with your Misty Moonlight, which I've already done. And then you're going to stamp your airplane with your Memento ink. Maybe I'll just stamp those images with the black just to show you that they will fit on this piece of scrap. And then you're going to die cut them out, which is this piece here. Okay? So let me show you here. We're going to use the, remember, you're going to use the Misty Moonlight Classic ink for your clouds because it coordinates with the card, all right? So, but I'm going to use black because I won't be able to open the ink pad today. So you're going to stamp your clouds and your medium cloud. The Misty Moonlight is better. And then you're going to stamp your airplane. Okay. So you have enough space to stamp your 2 clouds and your airplane on this piece that's angle cut. That's your scrap. Okay. I've already die cut out my cloud for my Misty Moonlight and my airplane. All right, so that's done. Now, let me give you the measurements for the front of the card. So your Misty Moonlight piece right here is cut at 3 by 3 5/8. And then this is the square that's cut with the stylish shapes. This is the largest square. And then you have your banner, that's the Cajun Craze. That's going to go behind your square just to give it some texture and some, you know, cutesiness. And then this is going to go onto your square like this. Or your rectangle, kind of, okay? This circle will be die cut for you. This is from the Stylish Shapes. This circle is approximately 2.5, okay? And that's going to be the part that pops up on the inside. And then you also have a 1.25 inch circle that I thought was for the last card, but it's for this card. So we're going to go ahead and stamp Flying By to Say Hi on this 1.25 inch circle punch, which would be in your Misty Moonlight, right? So Flying By to Say Hi, which is upside down. Let me change that. That's upside down. Hold on. Let me see if I can do better. Yes, that's much better. But there's something. Do you guys hear that thunder? I love a good rainstorm, especially when I'm going to bed. All right, so then Happy Birthday will be stamped on this little square, or if you wanted to say Happy Father's Day, just remember everything except for the plane is in the Misty Moonlight. All right, so Happy Birthday is going to be stamped at the bottom of our square, okay? That's it. Oh, wait, we got to stamp our greeting on the circle, which is what? Hold on, let me get my card. What does that one say? You're the best, plain and simple. Yes. So you're the best. That's going to go on the circle. Okay, so this is the big circle, 2.5. Just stamp that right in the center. Okay, so all our stamping is done. Now we're going to grab that Misty Moonlight cardstock and then we're going to cut these 2 pieces. Right? so we're going to score this in half. And on the 8.5 inch side, we're going to score it at 4 1/4. So that's just your typical card, right? And then you're going to fold your card. Okay, and now we're going to take a pencil. My ear's itching. All right, so we're going to take a pencil and we're going to mark at, let me make sure on this sample. Where's my sample? Yeah, we're going to mark at 1 1/4 and 2 inches. So on this side over here, we're going to mark down to 1 1/4. So this is the side of the card that I'm opening up, right? So I'm going to take this edge over here and I'm going to line it up at 1 1/4. Is this right? No, I'm going to line it up at 1 1/4 over here. Hold on. I'm going to flip it over. 1 1/4 here. Is that right? Hold on. I'm looking at my card here. So 1 1/4. This is the way the card is opening. So 1 1/4. 1 1/4 here. Just going to mark that right there, right? Is that right? I'm going to use this right side. That's what I did. Okay, so let's back up. This is the way the card's opening. You're going to take your side over here and line it up at 1 1/4. Okay? And then you're going to turn your card this way with the card opening up this way at the top. Line that up at 2. And you're going to make a pencil line down here at the 2 inches. And I'm using the cut groove on my trimmer. So I lined it up at 2 over here, made a little pencil mark here, and then I used the right side of my trimmer at 1 1/4 and made a little pencil mark. Okay, so now I'm going to, hold on, somebody's calling me. Sorry. No. Did they disconnect me? Did I just get disconnected? Hold on. I gotta reconnect my cell phone. Hold on. Gotta reconnect. Or you guys won't know how to make this card, right? All right, hold on. I gotta reconnect. Allow. Sorry, guys. Okay, allow. There we go. Okay. I think we're on now, right? Okay, so we got that. 1 1/4 and 2, right? So now we're going to score. I'm going to actually use a ruler and my stylist. And I'm going to connect those 2 pencil marks right here to right here. You could also use your track if you wanted. Okay. Did that go through? No, the other side. All right, now we're going to cut, now we're going to make the same side, or the other side the same way. So this time, the card is opening this, oh, sorry guys. I got to put you on picture. All right, so what I just did is I connected the pencil marks, right, for the front, 1 1/4, then turned it and did 2. And then I connected it with my ruler like this, and I made a score line from there to there. Now, since I'm folding both sides of this card, and my score line didn't go through, so now I got to score and make the pencil marks on this side. So this side, we're going to open up the card this way. We're going to line this up at 1 1/4, and again, make our pencil mark at 1 1/4. And then this one is going to be opening up at the bottom down here. Line this edge up at 2. Okay, so now it's the exact same thing. It's almost like mirror image on the one side to the other side. And take our stylist, and I'm going to connect those pencil lines, those pencil tick marks right here right here and right here. Okay, so now it should look like this on the back side and then this way on the front. And when you open it, it's going to be a big V there. Can you see that? And then you're going to press. I'm just going to finger press for right now those score lines. And then when you close it, then take your bone folder and reinforce those score lines. Here, let me bring this over here. Hold on. There. Okay. Take our bone folder and then reinforce those score lines. Close the card. Okay, so then this is the front of my card. That's the inside. That's going to pop up right here. Okay. Oh, we need our trimmer still. We're going to do the exact same thing with our paper that's going to go on the front. Now, the thing with the designer paper, this is the side that I want facing out on the front of the card. So I'm going to turn that face down. Okay. So we're going to turn this face down and we're going to, let me make sure. Yeah, I'm going to cut this at 1 1/4 over here. 1 1/4 pencil mark. And then line this up again at 2. So it's the same pencil marks, but this time instead of cutting, or instead of scoring, we're going to cut. Hold on, I got to make those pencil marks. Where did that go? That's 1 1/4 right here. I got to make it darker so I can see it. And then 2 over here. Right? Yes. Is that right? Is that the way I'm going to do it? Yes. So we're going to cut from our pencil mark to pencil mark right here to right here. Right? Here to right here. Man, this is like really hard to see on this green paper. Cut that. And then this is going to go onto the front. Oh no, it isn't. I must have cut it the other way. You know, just for par, this is the way the video is going. So when I cut this at my, wait, you know what? Maybe we can flip this over. Go inside here, right? Go out, go in. Is that the way it's going to go? No, it's still the same. Well, rats. All right, guys. So don't flip over your cart, your designer paper. Just keep it the side up that you're going to cut, I guess. You're going to cut your 1 1/4 here. Make your pencil mark on the side you want up. And then cut this down to your 2-inch score line right there. And then angle cut with the side up that you want. Now, when I did that in my office, I did it upside down, but I must have cut it the other way. Okay? Then your side should be right, but my side will be green this time because I'm not going to get another piece. Sorry. Oh, my white. White will not matter because it's going on the inside and both sides are white. So cut this at 1 1/4, or pencil mark at 1 1/4. And then line it up at 2. See, the thing is, the catchy part is the designer paper because it's double-sided. And I could have swore, but I think I cut it different. Okay, so then erase our pencil marks. Cut that a little bit more. A little bit more. Hold on. There we go. All right. That's it. I say it as if that was it, right? That's a lot. All right, so then this is going to go on the inside of our card over here. Now, with this being white on both sides, it won't matter. Okay, so then this is going to go on the inside right here, like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this piece in. Kind of do like a visual when you're cutting it the first time. I designed these cards last week too, if that makes any difference. You know. All right. So then this is going to be the green side out. Sorry. It's still going to be cute. But I wanted it to all be color coordinated, but it's all right. Okay, so green. Maybe you might like the green better. If you're pretty flexible, then I guess it really won't matter, right? All right, so then I'm going to put this all on dimensionals. I can't even really pick up dimensionals even with my hands right now. It's so crazy. Oh, we got to put our Cajun craze behind this, right? Just so the arrows are sticking out. Put more dimensionals on there. Okay. Put this onto the Misty Moonlight. Oh, you know what? I'm coloring the airplane green. Maybe that's a meant to be thing. For real. Then I think I popped this up on dimensionals too. Put it on the front of the card. Okay, so this is going to go down here. Ooh, that's going to look good with the green airplane. And then my clouds are right there. Let me color my airplane. I got some... Got my old olive light and my gray granite light. So I'm just going to color the airplane green. So this is like good, right? All right, so we're going to color the airplane. Just the airplane body. Underneath the wing. I'll show you when I'm done here in a second. Is that what I did? And then did I color the wheels? Nope, that was it. All right, and then I took the gray granite and colored in the wing part, the airplane. Around the tires, the center. I'm going to put the propeller on there too with the, there's the propeller. Here, let me grab that. Put the propeller on with the liquid glue. So cute. So here's my plane with the gray granite and the old olive light. See, then the green. Oh, look at that. You know what? I swear, sometimes things happen for a reason, you know? And you guys know I'm a big believer in there's no mistakes in stamping. There really isn't, right? Somebody says it's more reasons to embellish, right? All right, so then we're going to put our airplane like he's taken off here, right? And then I'm going to put my clouds. Remember, these are all stamped with the Misty Moonlight. I'm so glad I already did that. And then this is going to sit behind the airplane up on top. And then the medium cloud again. That one's going to sit down here by the happy birthday. Look how cute. Cute. All right, and then this one, flying by to say hi, is going to get popped up on a dimensional. That is going to be up towards the top here in the space. Okay, and then we're going to put our circle here. This is going to go on this V right here, and you can kind of just put it there so it's straight. Put a little bit of glue back here. Just make sure your greeting is straight. Just put it right only on this left side. Can you see that? Right there. Put your greeting so it's straight right above that score line so nothing gets interfered with that closing of the card. And then you can do a test so it should be tucked into the card just like that. And it pops up. Ta-da! Finally! I could blame it on my hands, but yeah, it's just one of those days. It's gloomy, it's raining, so thank you for your patience, guys. Seriously. All right, so there's card number 3. Now look at the difference. So depending on how you cut it, maybe you like the green better. I'm thinking I like the green better because of the green airplane, but look. It's the exact same card, but the other side of the designer paper. Isn't it cute? Either way, I promise it will be cute. Okay? And they both open up. You're the best, plain and simple. You're the best, plain and simple. Very, very cute. All right. So, any questions after all that? Lay it on me. I'm ready. I'm ready. Give it to me. Do you love it? Are you excited about it? Are you going to make them? What? All right, let me show you all the cards again. Okay, so here's card number 3, the inside pop-up card. And then your slider card, that is your card number 2, which you can make into birthday cards too, right? And then your Z-fold card, all using the Adventurous Sky Bundle. So cute. All right, let me turn on my comments again since I lost my, there we go. Oh, the card is awesome. Thank you. Cindy, that sounds so fun. Thank you, Holly. Great job, Dawn. Thank you, Chrissy. Thank you. I did the card, but I cut the template 2.5 by 3 1/4 and cut it diagonal and used it on the front corner full. Okay. Yolanda. Oh my gosh. Your way sounds cute too. For real. Well, I thought maybe turning the card inside out would have been good, but it still was the same. So, yeah, I have to try your side or your size. Yeah. Love the card and happy I got it right away. Yes. Elfie, you'll love it. You'll have fun with this bundle. It's so cute. I love masculine cards anyway. You know, I'm like all about the guy cards because of my husband. But even though he doesn't really fly, but it's still a masculine card. Great for my father-in-law, great for Richard, great for anybody excited about them. Thank you, Janet or Joan. Thank you, Joan. Where have you been, Joan? Are you still around? Hi, Jenny. I like the green too. Jesse told me a joke, and I thought of you immediately, Jenny, because the joke, let me think if I can remember it. This is from Garrett. So she said, let me tell you a dad joke from Garrett. So he said, what generation is Forrest Gump from? Gen A. If you haven't seen Forrest Gump, you don't even totally know what I'm talking about. But Gen A. Gen A. That's so funny. Richard and I both laughed at that one. But yeah, that was from Garrett. Hi, Brian. You're here. Where have you been? Oh my goodness, it's been forever. Did you forget about Wednesdays? Oh, Brian, so glad you're back. Are you okay? Yes, you've been missing in action a long time. Hopefully everything's all right. A cute card. Yours looks better than mine. I'm going to use your design in front for my next one. I don't know. I don't know about that, Yoli. I'm going to try your card. Never say mistakes in stamping. Yes, never. There's no mistakes in stamping. There really isn't. I have said that for as long as I've been a demonstrator, for real. I've said that ever since I started doing workshops and stuff. You can even ask all my girls. There are no mistakes in stamping, right? All right. So I think so too, Yoli. So like mistakes, they happen for a reason, I think. You guys, thank you for hanging out this long with me today. Jeez, oh Pete, there was like a little whoopsie with almost every card. But that's just how life is, right? All right. So do you guys have any questions about any of the promotions, about the retreat? I just got with my the hotel. I got to sign the contract, and then she's going to send me over the link to start booking the rooms. And then also, everybody that's already signed up, I'll get you over on our Facebook group page, because we're also doing swaps. So we're doing a card swap, a 3D swap, and then also a shoebox swap. You can sign up for everything, like an easy button. I want to do it all like I did last year. Or you can just sign up for the card swap or the 3D swap or 2 of the 3 or whatever. You can do it all, whatever. But all that will take place on our Facebook group, all right? So as soon as you register, I will get you added onto the Facebook group. And then also we ask questions like your favorite candy, your favorite snack, all that kind of stuff. So if you guys have any questions about anything, just reach out to me, all right? That's what I'm here for. Let me see, what do we got? Crafts and more. Howdy. You've been busy crafting? Well, that's good. You didn't at least stop that. You're so silly, Jenny. Jenny says, you're so silly. But that's how we pronounce your name, right? Like Forrest, like he says, Jenny. Not quite like that, but Jenny. Oh, your schedule has been busy for a while? Aw, thank you. Yes, that's why we do the videos and we share. It's a crafting community. We're here to help each other. Case away. I mean, seriously, use my printable, change it up a little bit, but don't just copy it and do it, but change it up. Yeah, you guys know. Everybody that's a crafter knows that, changing it up, making it your own is great. All right, good. You're doing great. That's good, Brian. Also, we have 4 presenters this year again for the retreat. One is a surprise guest presenter, which I'm not going to tell you who that is yet. It's a surprise. There's a lot of surprises this year, but they're good surprises. I promise. They're really, really awesome surprises. All right. Kept getting called and missed most of your live. Oh, I'm so sorry, Christine. Yeah, you can watch the replay. We're going to end here shortly. Let me do another glitter giveaway while we're at it here. I got these. I brought a few things over, so let's do this. I got the adhesive-backed hearts and flowers. Let me go ahead and spin for this. Let me clear the screen here. Thank you. Thank you, Laura. All right, so let's spin. Oh, wait. I gotta spin the comments, too. I forget. Hold on. Ta-da! Cindy Wagner. Woohoo! Oh, that pin does not work. Cindy. Do I have your address, Cindy? I know I have Angie's. Wagner, yep. All right, so hearts and flowers. All right, guys. We got Cindy Wagner. Let me know if I have your address, Cindy. Are you still here? For our 35th anniversary, 21 years ago, we chartered oh, you did? A plane out of Seattle, Washington? Wow, that's an anniversary gift. That was amazing. Do you live in Washington? Like near Seattle? Oh my gosh, I bet you that view was beautiful. Cindy, are you still here? Let me scroll down. Can you email me here, please, your address? This is your physical street address. Cindy Wagner, your name's on the screen. Email me here at, everybody sing it, dawn@theglitterpit.com. I called a company yesterday and I was trying to follow up on an order and they said, could you give me your address? I almost sang it. I said, it's dawn@theglitterpit.com. And then it was a guy, and he repeated it back to me and I said, yeah, we put it to a jingle. Do you want me to do that? He said, no, ma'am, I'm good. So apparently he wasn't a crafter, right? So it's dawn@theglitterpit.com. Email me here, Cindy, and give me your physical street address, all right? And then I can mail you your goodie that you won, which are the hearts and flowers. Very cute, okay? And then Angie, I got your address. You're going to get the paper flowers, all right? So I'll get that all sent out. Man, you guys, look at my mess. Do you guys want to see my mess? For real. I got a big mess here. Hold on. Let me tilt you guys this way. Oh, wait, let me just see if I can take this off. Look at my mess here. There's all my papers, my stamps, dimensional backings. That's a mess. That's a mess and a half. Isn't it, though? You know what they say? Crafting is messy and crafting is fun. So I guess I must be really fun, having a good time in my craft room, right? No judging. I know I'm not getting any judgments from you guys. You guys are probably like me, right? You're so welcome, Yoli. Thank you for your patience, for hanging out all this time. All my mistakes and whoopsies. You guys know. All right, you guys, we'll be back next week with card class number 45. Next week, I have no idea what we're going to be doing, but we'll find something, right? We'll have fun making something really cute. ×3. All right, so don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Subscribe, leave your comments, questions, concerns, anything down below. Also, you can visit my website. Look, I got a different welcome sign over here. So this is my website. Hopefully you guys can see that. Can you see that? Let me put this up here. Can you see that better? DawnStampingThoughts.net. That's my website. If you guys, for some reason, you want to see all the updates on all the stuff that's going on, if you didn't subscribe, go over to my website, subscribe to my newsletter. The newsletter is along the right-hand side underneath my picture over there. Subscribe and you'll get the update every Wednesday at 2:15 in your email box. And then that will mainly tell you that we're going live. You guys get to see what we're making first with the printable. And then also get the printable for the card sketch. See all the specials, the promotions, stuff about the retreat that's happening. You guys don't want to miss out on all that, all right? So don't forget to subscribe. Like, share. I appreciate you guys doing that. Thank you so much for hanging out today, and I'll see you guys next week. I love you guys. See you next week. Bye.